Hi, and welcome back to another Excel interview question tutorial. I'm Steve, and in this video we're going to be talking about filtering data. And this is very important to know for any potential interview questions, but it's also something that every Excel user should know because it's just so darn valuable and useful. So let's dive into our example here. We've got our snow cone list, we've got purchase dates, customer names, and flavors. Now, this is a fairly small list, so if you needed to go and say find all of the purchases that occurred in December, you could do that. Wouldn't be the worst thing. And in this case, they're chronological already, so that makes it real easy because they've been sorted. But if they were not, then it might take a little bit more work. And if this was thousands of rows long, it would get uglier by the minute. So let's just look at how we can use filtering to make this so much easier. And this is your talking point in an interview, is how to use filters to drill down into your data and really just bring up the data that you really want. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some filtering by date. And you can see we have the month of December 2023, we have January 2024, and let's say we just want the things from December, okay? You're just going to click in any of these cells, and you're going to right click, and you're going to go to filter, and you're going to say filter by selected cells value. Now you can go by color or font color or icon, but we don't have any of those things, so you're almost always going to go by value. If you had done some conditional formatting though, then you could filter by other things. So we'll go by cells value, and what it did was it picked just the cell that I'm selected on, and it filtered everything else out, which isn't what we want, but we're going to modify it a little bit here. And you'll also notice it put these little filter drop downs up at the top of the different things, and it also activated the filter tool, and that's under the data tab. Now you could just also click on the data tab and go over to this filter tool and click on it, and then you'd get the same effect. But to modify this filter to make it exactly how we want it to work, you're going to click on this, and it brings up this awesome little filter dialog box. And what you want to look at is the options down here. Now you can search, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute, or you can just select a criteria down here. If I go select all, then you notice it puts a checkbox by all of the entries from 2024 and all of the entries from 2023, and that's going to bring back my whole list. And if I click OK, you'll see it brings my whole list. Okay, let's change that a little bit though. Let's say we just wanted to see things from the year 2023. I'm going to deselect 2024 and click OK. And that's just going to show me those 2023 dates. But let's say that we want to break it down even more. What we want to know is how many watermelon sales there were during the year 2023. Okay, so we've already filtered it over here. Now we can just go over to the flavors and we'll filter it by watermelon. And you can see right now it has everything selected, but we're going to get rid of that and we're just going to select watermelon. Okay, now we click OK, and you can see it's reduced our list down even smaller. It shows us just 2023 purchases for watermelon, and we can see that there are 5. And if we wanted to get extra crazy, we could even filter by the customer name. Say we just wanted the ones with Jane. Obviously we can look at it and see, but let's do it. Click that off, click on Jane, click OK, and now we see just Jane's purchases. So we've taken that whole list and filtered it down to 2 lines. Awesome, right? Now if you want to clear these filters, say we don't just want watermelon, we want all of Jane's purchases in 2023. We can go here and go clear filter from flavor, and the flavor is our column header. So we click that and it cleared it. Well, apparently she didn't purchase any other flavors. We could do the same with the dates. Let's say we want to see all of Jane's purchases. We just clear the purchase dates, and now we can see she bought actually 2 watermelon flavors in 2023 and 2 watermelon flavors in 2024. Apparently that's the only flavor she's willing to eat. Okay, now you'll also notice that if I'm just clicking around like normal, I now have these little filtered dialogues up here, and they just don't want to go away. To get rid of those, you go up to this filter button, and that's in your data tab, and you just click that. It'll get rid of all those filters. It basically turns off that feature and brings back our whole normal list. Okay. We can also just go click it back on. Oops, I have to select in the range and click it back on. If you're clicked out of the range and you try and turn this on or off, it's not going to work. But if you click inside your range, click the filter button, it'll bring up those little tabs, or drop downs, I should call them the right thing. And then you can get back to filtering. Now here's an interesting thing. I mentioned the search feature. So let's do the drop down here. We have all of our different flavors. Let's do the search feature and let's type in melon. Melon. Now you'll notice that we've got a little sleeper in here, the cassava melon, which you may not have noticed earlier. But if I do that selection or that search and then I go OK, it's going to bring up all the watermelons, but it's also going to grab that cassava melon, which is logical. Anything with the word melon in it, I just did a search, right? So we can change the search too. We could say grape. I don't know if we have any grapes, but it's going to bring up grape. Click OK. Oh yeah, and we have 4 grapes. And Roger's the only one that ate them. So that's a really fast and powerful way to drill down into your data using the filter feature. And when you're done using it, click it off and you'll have your whole big ugly mess of data that you can be overwhelmed by as much as you want. But when you're ready to really drill down into it and simplify it, go ahead and click into your range and get that filter feature going and start filtering your stuff. Hope that was helpful, and thanks so much for watching.